As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Dawn, the dishwashing liquid that takes grease out of your way, and by Bold 3 detergent with built-in fabric softener.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am back doing a live in the stateside. I haven't done a live since Portugal. So, hello. A lot of stuff going on this Thanksgiving past weekend. End of. Happy holidays to those who had a good Thanksgiving, positive, ate well. I know I did. Yelled at family, friends. I know that I did. Uh, Jumped in the hot tub and had a good old time. I know I did. Let's see. I'm not going to be here very long because there's a lot going on. I would like to indulge since it is kind of a lackluster work day for me. Um, but before I get into the goofiness of the YouTube streets, let's do just a little bit of news before I get to that mess because the world is more important than the beef on YouTube. So let's see. We will find out what's going on in the news today. So we all know, well, hopefully you guys know that for those who have student loans out, such as myself, we will not have to pay starting January 2023, which is good news for us. Unfortunately, the reason why Biden paused the student loan payments, well, he did. We were basically supposed to get our student loan forgiveness for, I believe, up to $20,000, depending on you. And the majority of people were supposed to get 10,000 wiped away. As for me, I was one of those people that just needed that $10,000 wiped away from their student debt and smooth sailing. But you have to thank the Republicans and then the judge in Texas. Thank you very much for, and I mean that sarcastically, for halting that student forgiveness bill, which would help millions of Americans, not just us millennials and Gen Xers and Generation Y. I still have family members who are far in their late 50s, early 60s that still have a little bit of student debt. So it's not a generational thing, it is a financial thing. And the fact that I see so many people, especially on the right, who said that this is a handout, well, tell me this, riddle me this. If student loan forgiveness is such a handout, what are we doing to get those PPP loans back from a lot of those millionaires and billionaires? Or better yet, what are we doing with a lot of these CEOs, along with millionaires and billionaires, who get federal subsidies? Elon Musk. That's called welfare as well. So, I mean, unfortunately, people on the right don't understand money. Well, they don't want to understand because they're for their donors, right? And so when you have a large amount of Americans that are still in debt, that means people in my generation and younger aren't able to invest or buy properties such as much. You don't see too many late Gen Xers, millennials, or Generation Y at all buying homes, do you? Hence why the a lot of us were there during the housing crash of 2007, 2008. I love the fact that I went from 7 people to three. It's probably because I'm talking about something that's very interesting and not um, something goofy at the right moment or at this time. Don't worry, you guys. I'll get to the silliness after the important shit. Um, and especially for us in diaspora community, a lot of us, student debt ranges from all nationalities and ethnicities, but especially hurts us in the community where wages have still been stagnant for decades. The housing market has just slowed down completely. Like no one buys homes like that. And then forget about wanting to buy a new car. I mean, gas is outrageous. Electric cars aren't cheap. No one's making money, period. Oh, wait, there is one demographic that's making money. They're called the 1%. And that is neither of us on this platform. I mean, unless you are Jake Paul or someone like that who has millions of followers. But yet, I don't see any 1%ers here in this sector. So, but hopefully and unfortunately, so with the student loans, they're going to be frozen, which is good. But here's another side to it. We know that we have a very heavy conservative, I don't even want to say conservative, they're just crazy right wing Supreme Court judges. I can't even say conservative anymore. I mean, we know Clarence Uncle Tom Thomas was never for us anyway. So, psh. But you have Amy Bowen, Bon and Claire, Amy, Amy Bon Cohen, excuse me. You have Kavanaugh, I like beer guy, and who's the guy? I forgot the other gentleman who. I forgot his name. But anyway, he's also a younger right wing conservative judge. We don't have too many people. Oh, and then there's Sam Alito, who also, Sam Alito, if you don't know, did basically in 2014, what Sam Alito did was leak out to people from Hobby Lobby about overturning Roe versus Wade. That was always in that was the number one thing that they want to do with. And congratulations, you played yourself, and you did it. But anyway, so student loans are frozen until I believe June or July, until the case is brought up to the Supreme Court, in which I say, for those who are independents, progressives, liberals, I'll even say some of you liberal conservatives, which that's not really a thing anymore, for the broke people. This is a very important issue. When you have student loan forgiveness, the economy goes up, which means people have more money to spend. So, anyway, so that's what's going on. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, Kanye is now a full-fledged white supremacist. Surprise? No. Hanging out with Nazis. Y'all want to save him now? Y'all still want to save this brother who hangs out with white supremacists? Okay. All right. I don't know if any of you guys know who the white supremacist I'm talking about besides Kanye, but Nick Fuentes he's an incel. Incels are very dangerous people. And he was also at January 6th. That dude is a full-blown racist. So for those people who think that, oh, Kanye, just come home, y'all can forget about that. Y'all we forget about that? So yeah, he's having dinner with Trump and asked Trump to be his running partner, which is an insult to Trump. And Trump called his wife a whore. She is, whatever. But I mean, this is Trump, who has how many babies mamas? How many whores has he slept with? I mean, pot meet kettle. Anyway, but who cares? So, let's see. Oh, let me say hi to some people. Rob, good evening, sir. Hello, hello. Ghetto. What's up, Mr. Ghetto Intellect? And yes, you know what I'm talking about. You actually worked in some of these universities and what have you, so you know what I mean. And this is why I'm all for free college. The free college. And I don't know why people get scared of hearing the word free when you have billionaires and millionaires getting everything for free, and we down here are getting nothing. Oh, light just automatically came on. I mean, we cannot get. It's unbelievable how many human beings worship billionaires like they're going to give you a dime, like they're going to give you a job. Honey, they wouldn't spit on you if they wanted to. Let's see. Oh, okay, more news. Twitter's going to shit even more. Okay, not surprised. Um, let's see. Governor Whitmer out of Michigan is going to appoint the first Black woman to Michigan Supreme Court. That's good. These things are really important, by the way, because you have um, Supreme Courts throughout the states and what have you, which help us with avoiding issues like the judge in Texas. Circuit courts. Pay attention to those judges, you guys. Let me keep saying hello to some folks. Hi, Robbie. Hey, long time no see. Thank you, my dear. Clem, long time no see. Hi. Um, uh, that's your governor. See, yeah, this is the governor to Gretchen Wilmer. I don't know why I can't say her name. It's Whitner, um, who was also about to get kidnapped by some white supremacists. Yeah. So, and those guys, I believe, are on trial or they've been locked up already. I've been watching the World Cup. Portugal won today. Shout out to them. I the US and England game 0-0. No one scored because they both suck. And the I was disappointed with the Mexico and Argentina game. I wanted Mexico to win. I really wanted Mexico to win. So it's okay, Mexico. You'll get it next time or the next 4 years. So, all right. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Robzilla. Anyway, so some of the things that's going on a little bit in the world. And for those who live in the state of Georgia, I hope you've done some early voting this weekend. I know the lines were long. I know y'all were thirsty because y'all can't have water bottles. People can't give out water to y'all waiting in line in Georgia. Racist. But I'm glad the courts there did allow early voting on the weekend, this past weekend, because let me tell you, y'all, December 3rd, next Tuesday, we're going to be looking at Georgia. Now, I know people are like, well, the Democrats already have the Senate. It don't matter. Even within a party, you have to fight some of those people within the party. I mean, we still have Kristen Sinema. We still have that fuckface mansion out of West Virginia, one of the poorest states. So with those two, oh, what about Georgia? It's voting. Do you not know what's going on in the Gray Pill podcast? We got Senator Warnock versus football head Hershey Walknuts. And for those who have not been paying attention to who Hershey Walknuts is, aka Walker, he is a certified butter biscuit, illiterate, slave talking, jive talking, we sick boss Negro who used to play football, who is Donald Trump's favorite friend, coon friend, who uses reference to Fright Night, the 1985 vampire movie, in one of his campaign speeches about werewolves and vampires. This is Hershey Walknuts. Have you ever heard of that movie called Freak Night Fright Night? I don't know. I was sitting up late watching a movie called Freak Night Fright Night. And y'all like vampires? I think vampires are real cool. Well, I didn't know that werewolves could kill vampires. So I realized that I don't want to be no vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf. That was part of his speech. That was the opening of one of his speeches. And yet this man wants to be senator of Georgia. Now we know why the GOP wants to put Hershey up in there, right? Because that's our boy. He wanted the good ones. So please, Georgia, don't do this. And plus, here's another thing. Here's something else to throw out there, especially to independent voters in Georgia, and especially to us in the diaspora, those who like to vote the Republican way or what have you. Something to think about. The Republican Party is putting out someone like Hershey Walker to make fun of Black men and thinking that that is how we as people and you as men are like or supposed to be like. They want a minstrel show up in there. They want Clayton Bigsby. What was Samuel Jackson's character in Django? The wee sick box type. I mean, for the love of God, you had Lindsey Graham crying, please, y'all got to vote for Herschel. He is the voice of Black America, and he will help and inspire many Black boys and Black little girls to become Republicans. Now, if that is going to want little Black girls and Black boys to be Republican, you mean Coonan? Okay. We don't need another. We already got too much going on with us, especially in this country. We're already embarrassed ourselves with our own. I mean, we already got Kanye. So do we got Uncle Clarence Thomas, we got Candace Owens, we still got Stacey Dash. We don't need any more boss types, you know. What hey, Demare, what's up? Ooh, I've been watching your stuff. You have been I didn't know about all that drums. Hey, talent. See, Uncle Herschel. Uncle Herschel. The fact he's mangled to garner so much prestige actually said exactly. Exactly. And then the fact that there's too much money in politics because you have to corporations and billionaires and millionaires are the ones that rule these elections. It's not been a democracy. Citizens United told us that money is speech. But yet, when it comes to us down here, middle class, lower middle class, working poor, working whatever, when we speak with our money, what does that say about us? Oh, we don't have it. Anyway, let's see. Uh, yeah, more Elon Musk, whatever, whatever. Um, yeah. So looks like the house is still going to shit. Oh, and then let's not get this twisted. There's something that also that's been pissing me off out here in the mass media. I'm really getting tired of us as a people being ignored about a lot of the anti-blackness and the racism that is going on, even amongst within our community. I really wish people would put a bigger spotlight on that. I noticed that we do talk about anti-Semitism, but when we talk about that, we also have to talk about the anti-blackness that some of these white nationalists are spewing out. Because again, if it wasn't for us, and I'm talking about Black Americans right here, you would not have the Civil Rights Bill, Voting Rights Act, Loving versus Loving, if you guys know what I'm talking about, the equal housing. And I think when the mass media sees us sometimes, they see us sometimes like a Herschel Walker, or they see us not on code, mostly not on code. We're going to have to be a little bit louder and a little bit aware. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, that was my political stuff for the moment. So let's take a moment to stretch out the fuckery. Oh, by the way, you are welcome, Raw B. I think Raw B was appreciating the opening, the opening theme. That opening theme was, yeah. I wonder if you guys could have guessed it. Well, the opening theme was "As the World Turns," the 1980s theme version. But anyway, okay. So YouTube shit, doxing, loyalty, allies, confusion, xenophobia, colorism, self hatred, cash grabs, cash apps, vacations. This is all soap opera. Alliances have been broken. What the fuck is going on? You can tell it's the holiday season, and people are really. Last year, when people were talking about a money grab on YouTube for the holiday season, I was thinking, "Oh no, what are they talking about?" Oh, now this year, 2022, I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Let's speak on the doxing. If you cannot take words, if you can't take someone cursing you out, why are you here? Why? If the next step that you're going to do because you can't take someone calling you a bitch, an asshole, so that this is why you know you're local in the cabeza. That next step is like, well, I'm going to dox you. What? Because I called you an asshole or a bitch or I've been on YouTube since 2005. You will see some of my stuff and some of the skits that I did If you look up a place thing called Woogie Town, I think it goes from like 2005, 2006 or 7, some in the 2000s. That's how long I've been on YouTube. I've had this channel for about 3 years. Do you know some of the slurs, some of the stuff, some of the like really gross stuff that I've heard my YouTube career? But yet, when I hear those things and those people say things to me, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, I got to find out who this person is and dox them. What kind of weak bitch shit is that? That means you are soft. That means you can't take this without, I mean, it's not even below the belt. It's not even a debate anymore. You are a loser. You lose. You lose when you focus on xenophobia or colorism or racism or misogyny, and you definitely lose when you want to start doxing and posting people's nudes. You and posting up someone's unalive child, which I just really just think is gross. Do some of these people know what goes around comes around? I know it's a cliche thing to say, but do you not realize when you do this stuff, karma comes back to bite you in your ass 10 times harder? I'm just saying. I mean the fact that you can't even, you're so beef sector, but yet you can't handle beefing. But I'm not even going to blame her at this point. I'm going to blame y'all. Y'all going to sit up there and still support, and then all of a sudden, but why she do that? That was so wrong. Y'all, a lot of y'all have been in this sector much longer than me. Much longer, and you know what the plays are more than me. And yet I see that people in these sectors play repetitive games. Repetitive. I mean, you guys still talk about a person who's been gone off here for 3 years like she still exists. You break with one alliance and go to another, knowing when you break from that alliance and go to another, the other alliance that you go to is just as shifty. Pretty fucking weird. But those are certain people's personalities, right? I'm just here to look, respond, and have a commentary on it. Oh, hi, Clyde Broke. Good to see you. And yes, it's stupid. It's stupid. Hi to everyone in the chat. If I didn't say hello, hola. Now I know there's like several lives going on right now, but I just wanted to get my piece out because it's just, I'm going to always have a I told you so moment because it's so interesting being the person looking at all this hot mess and seeing that, this alliance isn't going to go very well. But it is not my job to say, don't do it. Listen, I have a hard head and a soft ass too. So sometimes I don't even want to listen to myself. I just rather just do it. But neither here or there. And Allie, my girl, Allie, what is this new character? What's up with you saying the N word? Like, That don't even sound right coming from you. Now you still my girl. You very controversial right now. But this I don't even want to call it ratchet. Allie, why you gotta be saying nigga every sentence now? That ain't you. It don't even sound right coming from you, sis. What is this? It's not even I'm not I'm not disappointed with what you're doing. I think it's kind of good luck, but this new character of you being hardcore, you were already hardcore before. I don't think you need to go to saying the N word every sentence to sound tough. I mean, I thought you won people by being tough by using your book smarts because that can scare people even more. Your knowledge of, you know, um, grammatic reads. But this, Allie, Allie, what you doing? Oh, what the gray pill pod. I respect you voicing that happened to me twice. I choose not to respond, but I decided to that's yeah. I mean, there's so many different personalities on this platform, millions of personalities. And when I say millions, all of us have multiple personalities. Have you seen us? But also at the same time, the way that we go after each like the duck, come on. I think it goes too far when you're talking about children and dead people. That's just and people say this is the beef sector. There's no more morality here. Woo woo woo. Well, is it beef sector until someone comes up and pops you inside your head in your house or robs you and beats the shit out of you and someone records that and puts that on live? Is that beef sector? There's morality. Ooh. I hate when people say that goofy shit because those are the people who have no platform. And those people can kiss my ass. They don't even have the balls and the boobs to even have their platform, to have this, to even have their own channel. Those are the people who are cheering for this horse shit because they know that they can duck and dodge whenever. Weak. This is the B sector. There is no morality. That looks really well when I did that. Okay. Whatever. But Allie, what you doing? What's up with the N word all like that? I we too. I mean, it's cute when you say motherfucker, but when you go for the N word, it just don't. It's not you. You don't have to do all this. You really don't. You really don't have to do this, sis. Mm-mm. You better than that. But I still like you. I still respect you. But child, mm-mm. And then the fact that you gravitated to this flame. Child, listen. This flame, aka this heat, aka this monthly, I told y'all about that person. Y'all do some goofy, stupid shit on in the beef sector. And let me tell you why. You don't vent. You don't vend for people, excuse me. Y'all set up and had this random stranger come up to the platform Tell her how she doesn't like this person, this person, this person. Didn't even have a channel. Didn't start a channel till the day after. And all this person, or the flame, aka the heat, all they've been doing is spreading confusion, fake beefs, and lies. And I'm actually mad at some of y'all in the beef sector because I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be Jay down for a moment and talk about me. Y'all give this scallywag from no man's land all the love, all the subs. You get her to 1,000 within a week's time. This whole monetize. Y'all can't even share my video. Not asking for cash apps, because you know me, I don't do that. But if I need to do that, there's my cash app. Not begging, but I see that's what it takes for some of y'all. So she comes in here. I'm not even going to say guns a blazing, just juvenile. Well, I don't like this person because of this, and this person talks about that. And y'all gravitated to that. And now look, a month later. I like having I told you so moments, but it's going to start to get old real quickly. Seriously. And now what we are finding out is this flame, aka this heat, is weak sauce too. Because not once did she delete her channel, but twice. And yet she's leaving YouTube. I'm going away. This is my farewell interview. 24 hours later. Back on a panel. Back on the panel. So miss me with that bullshit, dude. Oh, dude. Shout out to the mayor of Detroit. Thanks for the cash app, brother. Thank you. See, I don't ask for anything. I'm not begging. Thanks, brother. I was actually just talking about your home state a few moments ago. So you guys are going to be getting the first Black Michigan Supreme Court justice. So shout out to Michigan. And then other things that have been on fire. Black sector. I was cruising down the streets in the black sector where I used to be. The mayor. I don't know what happened with the alliance between you guys, man. With you and Kimmy. It's now what I got from it was she didn't like you going over to that misogynist that one dude from Philly's platform. But is that why you guys fallen out because she didn't like that? Or and I know it's not, you're not the kind of person that would talk behind someone's back like that. Because you and I have floated around on these YouTube streets for almost about 4 years. So I know that's not in your personality. And congratulations to you on getting your CDL. That's correct. And I dropped the link down here for anyone who wants to join or talk or yell at me or curse me out. Just no porn bombs, please. I'm not into the dick show thing. It's kind of ugly and unattractive. But yeah, that was another alliance that I was kind of taken aback about, that you guys, the relationship ended. Oh, here you are. Here, it's getting dark outside, so okay.
What up, though?
Hey, good
What's
evening,
going
sir.
on? How are you?
Hanging tough. I'm good. Thank you for the cash app. I appreciate that, brother. Thank
Oh,
you.
you more than welcome.
Thank you. Um, so I was catching up a little bit on Lady Law yesterday, and I didn't realize how heavy and how long this has been going on with you and the former or the other content creator.
Right, right. And the thing about it is that it's so silly, it's so stupid. But the thing about it was this: if I'm cool with you and you got a problem with me because I went over to somebody's platform that you don't like, then that's your problem. That's something that you got to deal with. As long as I don't say anything about you. Now, the whole situation started with me going over there, and I gave ZX's props for not putting, ghetto intellects business out here. You know what I'm saying? And that was
Mhm.
it. So next thing I know, I'm sitting up here, and like I said, I say names. I don't sugarcoat. I say names. I was sitting over there in the bushes listening to Misunderstood. Misunderstood got up here and said, breaking news, breaking news. Kimmy is cursing out the mayor of Detroit. So I'm like, why would Kimmy be cursing me out? You know what I'm saying? So first thing I'm gonna do, me and Kimmy being cool for the longest, I'm gonna call Kimmy. I call Kimmy. I say, hey, what's up? Um, Wait, I got a problem with you going over there to ZX's platform, this, that, another. I said, but why does that bother you? I said that was something between two men. It had nothing to do with you. Your name was never brought up in any manner. So why you have a problem? Well, I'm gonna discuss this on my panel. Okay, then cool. If you got a problem with that, you got a problem with that. Well, she didn't do it. She didn't discuss it on her panel. And this is the build up to it. Next thing I know, I gave it no mind. I left it alone. It is what it is. I seen when she did her show, she never brought it up. So I'm thinking, cool, I didn't dodge the bullet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, next thing I know, somebody sent me the link talking about, hey, the next day, hey, Kimmy threw you up under the bus. And I'm like, well, for what? So I go over there and look. It was Tracy. Now everybody knows I hate Tracy because, like I said, everybody knows it. And the reason why I hate her is because, like I said, when you gave my mama's address, you showed my mama's house, my daughter, my brother, and my father. No, ho, it's on and popping.
I don't like that doxing. That's
Right.
too much. That I don't, that's yeah.
Now you tell me this much, Toya. If you're a content creator and I'm cool with you, and say somebody say and me and you have a problem, and then that other person that you don't like come up and say, hey, so what's going on? What's up with you and Toya? You and Toya having problems. If I'm on somebody's platform that I don't like, why am I gonna throw you up under the bus? You know what I'm saying? So it was Tracy, that big mouth ass Paulette Waters,
Oh,
and I told her don't bring her ass back to my channel. You are no longer welcome. And Nicole. Now all three of them on the panel, right? So this is where I say this is how it got real ugly. So when Tracy asks Nicole, Misunderstood, hey, what's going on with Mary and Kimmy? Misunderstood could have been like, hey, that's between them. I'm not gonna get into all this. Oh, Nicole was like, oh, let me get Kimmy on the line for you. So she got Kimmy on the line. Next thing I know, um, Kimmy said, yeah, that motherfucking mayor went over there and took his dumb ass over there to ZX's platform and did this, that, and the other. And I'm like, and he don't even got his fucking facts straight. And I'm like, hold on. So you gonna go to my enemy's channel to dog me out. And then you think I'm not gonna say nothing to you? Oh, you got me fucked up, sweetheart. Y'all don't
mhm.
ever see, you don't know me very well. So of course, I don't have to sit here and argue with anybody on their platform. I can always go to my own and hit that live button. And that's what I did. So last
Sorry, my phone.
so last night, like I said, I did three shows. I couldn't believe it. I did three shows this past week. All on this dumb shit. And then I look at it and I'm like, damn, I actually went live 3 times this week on some stupid shit. So I just came to a point to where if you want to make me look like the bad guy, tell me, oh, he's a drunk, he's weird, he's this. He came
You're
up on.
drunk
Yeah, I
since
was.
when?
Yeah, I'm a drunk. Yeah, I'm a
I
drunk.
never knew you didn't know you were a drunk. That's a new one.
Yes. So it was so funny because, and I did it, and so like I said, Monday last week, yeah, last Monday, I got my CDL. I passed my CDL test last Sunday. So
Right.
Monday, I celebrated. And I got fucked up. I got twisted, but I was at home getting twisted. So
You weren't
misunderstood.
operating a vehicle, obviously.
I was not operating a vehicle. Misunderstood was having a 6-month celebration on her so-called quote unquote sobriety. I took my ass up there on her panel. Yes, I did. So
Oh my God.
I,
Uh-oh.
I was like, you talk, and so I was like, you talk a whole lot of shit, don't you, bitch? I was drunk. I mean, I was lit. I was lit. I ain't stayed up there for long, but I was lit. But I'm like this: if you call yourself having a sobriety channel, right? If you call yourself having a sobriety channel, the last thing that you will want up on your panel is a quote unquote drunk, a weed head, anybody who participates in any type of illicit activities as far as drugs go. Right. Right. I mean, if you're gonna smoke, turn your camera off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't be sitting here turning up, smoking up and all that. So I got it, and I had enough of it. So you decided, and so on last Wednesday, me and Kimmy, we discussed things. Next thing I know, Kimmy decides that she's gonna call me a bitch.
Oh wow.
Wow, okay, bitch, huh? Okay, I got your bitch. And then I'm all right. So that Friday, like I said, this past well, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, she got up here and she's like, well, you live in your mama's basement and blah blah this and blah blah that. I'm like, well, if you want to believe that, go right ahead. It doesn't make me no difference. But when you got up here and you saying your motherfucking mammy, I'm like, whoa. We want to so we want to talk about mammies now, huh? You want to talk about mamas. So this is on Buddy Lee's show. So I say, that's okay. I got you. I got you. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to argue with you on my show. I don't have to argue with you on Buddy Lee's show. I can go spark my own live up. And that was in that show that I did that Friday, I ethered her ass. And so this whole thing, you remember the whole thing about the ring, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
I think that story is fraudulent, but if it is, it's not really
no,
a story.
this is what happened. I want to say it was like in August or September. I got to look at my phone records. I asked Kimmy about it. I said, Kimmy, what's up with this ring? Now she gets up and says, she said, boy, that girl Ben had that ring back. So
newsflash, everyone, the ring is safe.
Right. So I brought it up. So I'm like, you want to keep on dogging me? So I told Nicole, yo, people keep on fucking with me. I said, I'm gonna take everything out on you because you're the one who started this shit up. You're the one who started the ball rolling. So I'm gonna end the ball rolling. So I decided to get up here and say Friday. I said, let's talk about this ring. And then talk about the fact that the ring has been in your possession since September. So Kimmy says that I'm a liar. I said, well, how am I a liar? So that means that if you told me, that means that you was the one who was lying, correct? So you told me a lie, correct? So who's the bad guy? Is it me or her? So you're not making me look bad. I'm just bringing out everything out in the forefront because everybody kept on jumping down Envy's case. Oh, Envy, where's the ring at? Where's the ring at? And he keeps on trying to explain himself. But then I've been had this information, right? I've been holding on to it. But y'all want to keep on fucking with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start letting this information out a little bit at a time. So it's like what I told Nicole. Nicole, get your bulldogs, get your pit bull Tracy and your pit bull Kimmy. Well, Kimmy's not a pit bull. She's more like a water buffalo, but it is what it is.
Well, you weren't thinking that months ago, but I remember you. I recall in
Well, you know
yesterday.
what? You're right. I wasn't thinking that months ago, but when you got up here, and like I said, when you called me a bitch, I can take that. I've been called worse.
Gloves are off. I get it. The
Right. But
gloves are
gloves are
off.
off when you start talking about parents.
I have to agree with that. I understand that. But
Right.
I recall from the live yesterday with Lady Law that she had unwrenched you or what have you. Because I think that's why I hadn't seen you in her chats as much this past fall.
Hmm.
Is this where the slippery slope started to happen come September?
No. She took my wrench because she said because I was cursing on her show.
I thought everyone curses.
Right. Now, I cursed on her show, but I did send her a $50 cash app for cursing on her show. But the thing about it,
Okay.
that's that same show. She talking about what happened about 2 or 3 times. I said, but yet and still, I didn't seen worse on your show. I didn't seen you had people up on your show who talked about people's kids. When you got up here and said, when that man came up there and said, fuck your kids, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, whoa, hold on, sweetheart. I never said nothing like that. Now I've cursed, but I paid you because you said, well, this show is not gonna be monetized. But the thing about it, that same show that I cursed on, you let two female content creators come up there and curse each other out from here to Sunday. But I'm the bad guy. I didn't see you talked about me talking about you was drunk on your show one night and that's not a good look. What if the trucking company is looking at you? Well, hold on, sweetheart. You said that you going to school to be a lawyer. So you think that you think that a law firm will want to see your ethical behavior out here on these YouTube streets? See, a trucking company put up, okay, he talking shit, that's his thing. But you think that a law firm will want to hire you or put you into their firm and you're doing the things that you're doing, doxing people, talking about people, doing this and doing that? You think a law
Mhm.
firm will want to hire you? I don't think so. So this whole thing I says, as far as the ring goes, the next thing you know, I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that. I said, well, prove me wrong then. Because I'm like this. I don't care what anybody says. For one, why would you go out of town with a $60,000 ring on and you're visiting somebody that you don't know? Hello.
Because it did, the story didn't add up, number one.
Right.
Number two, that is the dumbest thing for one to do. And number three, like you to a stranger's home at that you don't know. It's one thing if I'm traveling with it, I'm going to stay with friends and family that I know. But I'm going to be spending time with someone on YouTube that I've never met and no telling what kind of living situation that person. I just not bright, not
Right.
bright.
Right. Not bright at all. But like I said, you do what you want to. But the thing about it is that the fact that um this man sent it back. He sent, he showed the video, him sending it back. He gave you the tracking number, all that. And you telling me that you're that lazy that you can't drive an hour to go get a family heirloom, to go get a $60,000. And think about it is that why would you have to tell everybody how much the ring costs?
You shouldn't do that. Just like you shouldn't flash $40,000 on here. Just
Right,
like if I have something of value, which I do, I'm not going to flash it on here because people are going to get an idea, and people are sickos and they do dox you. And when that happens, people could come to your house. There's
right,
all these effects that could happen to one when you flash um, expensive items or money. It's just a
right.
no-no. That's almost as bad as like a rapper wearing 10 gold chains. You're going to get jacked.
Oh, no. You have 10 gold chains and you're going into the hood.
You're going to get jacked.
Right, right. We had a we there was this it was so funny. There was this one guy, he was a male dancer, right? He lived in the hood and he was always showing all this money that he was making, right? And
Mhm.
and they finally found out where he lived.
Oh,
Well, they didn't say we don't have to rob you. We just gonna wait for you to go to work.
oh,
And when they did, they ran up in his house. You know what the only thing they took?
what?
The safe.
Where the chains and stuff are.
They left all that there. They took the safe. It was just that it's just that funny. But like I said before, the way people are now, you don't know what people might do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
mean, you have people like mediocre musicians who are getting robbed and showing up places and getting popped over a
right,
couple of gold chains. Like, come on,
right,
dude.
right. Now who's the rapper that who had the diamond embedded in his forehead and they snatched
Little
it out?
Uzi Vert.
Yeah, and they snatched it out of his forehead. Wasn't it like a $24 million diamond or something like that?
I heard it wasn't worth that much, but still, like
Right,
that's stupid. It's still dumb, and that's the problem. Like people, that's why I'm not a fan of the whole doxing thing because there's certain levels to this that become dangerous. Because I like to go live and I will show my things sometimes. Like this is all you're going to see,
right. Just like
but
you see that wood panel, you see that wood paneling behind me on my
I do,
picture.
I do.
That's the only thing that you're gonna see.
I do see that 70s chic back there.
That's real wood. That's
Yeah.
real wood. That wood, yeah.
Someone probably would rob you for that would be like, oh shit, I can make a cabin.
Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about.
What's
That,
hard these days?
right, right. So, you know, and I
It
told her, I
seems,
said, huh?
go
I
ahead,
said,
go ahead, go ahead.
if you want to keep, I said, so to me, you said that people are making people are talking slanderous about you. I'm like, slander? There's nobody slandering you when people are telling you the truth, because I see that everybody coddles you. Everybody treats you with kid gloves. Nobody wants to give you that tough love that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? You know, for one, um, you can't get up here and call anybody weird or anybody a drunk. This is what I say to you. How can you call me a weird or a drunk when you've been on meth for 20 years? How can you call me a weird or a drunk when, sweetheart, your buddies, both of your buddies have got matching mug shots. Um y'all both got 3 mug shots. Yeah, you don't see me with no mug shots. You may have seen me drunk, and think about it, so I can stand on mines. I can stand on my square.
But that's the thing about that's why, I was on a panel with MU not that long ago and kind of cleared the air a little bit. So I don't want to pile on her, but I will say this much. I don't think it's a sobriety channel. It might be a sobriety lifestyle channel. I'm being generous.
Yeah, you
Um,
being real generous.
yeah, but from what I see, because I'm kind of a vampire, when I am up at 4 in the morning and her and I are on the same time zone, I see her up at those weird hours as well. And I don't see too much sobriety from her guests, that is,
What?
on the
Say that
channel.
again. Say that again. You don't see
I
what?
don't too much sobriety from her guest. Um,
Okay.
and so, and my thing is like, just be honest about like, this is a sobriety fuckery channel. This is where the sober people, or where people come to fuck up when you're trying to practice sobriety. That's maybe what you should change it to.
Right.
The relapse channel. Uh, and I too have been called a lush on this platform. So, hey, by the way, guys, I am not drinking. I'm not doing shrooms. I am not stoned right now. Um, because there's this narrative that's starting to come like from certain content creators that I I I'm always like not sober. Okay, I'm like, have you checked me out and some of my things? Majority of the time I am, but sometimes I have those nights. And
Right.
plus, I don't take this shit that seriously. I'm not
Yeah.
calling. This is not the holier than thou channel. This is like sometimes I'll be a jackass channel. This is political stuff that I'll talk about. YouTube bullshit, something I need to get off my chest. It's an expression, an outlet for me to express certain things and views that I have. And hopefully there'll be an audience there. It's a very small audience, but it's better than no audience. And so I'm seeing all these teams and stuff, and it's just like it's definitely going to crash come 2023. It's definitely all these people that are so loyal. You can't, first of all, you can't be loyal to someone you've never met. That's just
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
Um, and I am with the Pastor Wilson metaphor, or not metaphor, but a quote of there are no friends in YouTube. I don't believe in that because, as we can see, someone can call you, oh, this is my friend, this is my bestie, don't know
Mm.
you from Adam, and then all of a sudden will dox you because you said something wrong or you voiced an opinion.
And believe you me, I should know. I thought somebody who I was cool with, and that was the first person who doxed me. All
Yeah.
because all because you didn't want to see me, start my own show up. And I'm like, is it jealousy? Is it envy? Because you gotta realize one thing: the black sector and the beef sector, they may be a lot of people, but we're a small group.
Hmm.
I mean, and like I said, and the thing about it is that neither one of these sectors, yeah, I mean, you be thinking that I never seen so many people hoop and holler about somebody getting, 1,000 people in a chat room. That don't mean a damn thing. When you start
Mm-mm.
getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people in your chat room, then you doing something right.
Exactly. Like those lovely T numbers,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, none of us here in both of these sectors are superstars. Like,
Right.
even I'm gonna say something really well, not too controversial, but we see what happened to Uncle Tom Soto
Yeah.
Mayor. We see his fall from grace. We see where all that negative energy and all that plight and hatred, the anti-blackness, the misogyny, all that stuff. It was fine for the first 5 years. It was
Right.
profitable, but that Negro right now is hanging out in a child line. Good times. Uh,
But you know what? Like I said, when he first came out, he was doing something that nobody else was doing. He took, like I said, he had the gift. Now I give him one thing, he still got the gift of gab. But the one thing that he did, he took something and he ran with it. And he did pretty good. I
he
mean, no,
ran
he not
to
only
his
no,
white
he did very
community.
well. Not pretty good. He did very well.
Mhm.
And you seen that people, it wasn't the fact that people was hating on him. I think that people were just jealous because they couldn't do the same thing that he was doing. You know what I mean? But you started stepping on a lot of toes. You started pissing off a whole lot of people. And so, they were looking for your downfall. And it seemed like everybody who tries to reach to the mountaintop, you got people who's right behind you who wants to pull you down. Like I said before, um, I only come up for two things for YouTube: shits and giggles. Because like I said, once I turn this computer off, and I tell everybody, and everybody already knows that 99.9% of you motherfuckers I'm never going to meet.
Facts.
So, I mean, even the donations, I mean, I may put my cash app in there. I may not put my cash up in there. I'm not pressed for that. It seemed like everybody, oh, this is a job. This is a job. No, this ain't no job. This is a hobby.
You better have a part-time gig if you're doing this for coin.
Right,
Like,
right.
that's
Like I
that's
said,
the thing. Like, I feel like if you're doing this as your full-time job, the obsession and the obsession with the YouTube world gets a little bit self-destructive.
right,
Whereas your livelihood outside YouTube doesn't exist anymore. And I noticed that with a lot of these content creators and some of the people that are, on the chats and stuff. And it's kind of really sad. Whereas you're willing to, I don't want to say be lazy, but you don't, I don't think some people are too bright thinking that they can make this a whole career. And you ain't even got 20,000, 30,000 followers, you know? You
Right.
ain't
That's
there yet for this to be a whole career.
right. I mean, when if you got, like I said, if you getting like 10, 15, 20,000 people in your chat room and every time that you go live, then yeah, you can probably make that a career. But the thing about it is this is fast money.
Hmm.
This is fast money. And if you're
Like
not
stripping.
right, like selling drugs, like doing all
Mhm.
that. This is like going to the dice game, like going to the casino. This is fast money. And unless you invest your money the right way, this is not going to be a forever thing.
Right.
Because see, people are going to sometimes get tired of coming to see the same thing. I mean, if I fed you the same meal every day, after a while you're gonna be like, well, damn, can't you got anything else? If I'm serving you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day, you know, and I'm like, damn, instead of giving me grape jelly, can't you give me some strawberry or peach jelly or something? Can you maybe some crunchy or something like that? Can you give me something other than this same peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You know what
Give
I'm
me
saying?
preservatives. Damn.
Right. I mean, come on now. I mean, they think that. I mean, they think that this is the bee's knees. It like I said, it helps pay a couple of bills.
Right.
If you got it like that. But if you're not a Logan Paul, a Jake Paul, a PewDiePie, and they got like
A
millions of
Jackie
followers.
Aina, who,
Was
you
that
know, a Jackie Aina, who is a
right?
black makeup artist who has millions and even her own makeup line.
Right,
You know.
right. Unless you got that, but if all you do is stick your finger in the camera, pointing at people, or pick up a remote control and point it at somebody and call somebody a bitch or a motherfucker, this, that, and the other, then I mean, come on now, we got plenty of comedians that curse all day and call you every name but the child of God. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I think last night on my live, I think I exhausted my word, the word bitch and motherfucker for the rest of the year. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Plenty of people got called bitches and I didn't say no names, but plenty of people got called bitches and motherfuckers last night.
You're like, I ain't got no more bitch or motherfucker left for 2022.
But hold on, I still got a little bit. I can still bring it out. But and
Paquito.
right. But I told them, I said, they ask you if you ask me questions or like I said, like last night, I got up here and said, I said, so if you got your DVR, you got your recorders on, and they was like, yeah, okay. I wanted to smash Misunderstood. You said what? I said, yes, you heard me. They was like, did you want to smash Misunderstood? Yep, I sure did.
You said was, that's past tense.
Right. I said I wanted to. I said I wanted to smash
Wanted,
Misunderstood.
still past
Wanted.
tense.
Yeah. Right. So you said that. Okay. And
Well, here's
so
before you go on,
right.
man, if I can interject, I
Go ahead.
actually a couple years ago, or I think it was last year, I actually because I knew she was going to be in Chicago, I actually invited MU to possibly meet up. She was the first person because I was quite fond of her um, because of her story, and I'm a sucker for certain things and stuff like that. And I was actually going to meet up with her, and then I kind of backed out because I don't. I'm afraid of meeting someone on YouTube. I know how I can be in public, especially if it was for my birthday in Chicago. I can go a little bit wild. I didn't want that being recorded or talked about on YouTube. So I was going to meet up with MU at one point in time. So I'm throwing that out there as well. So please continue.
Right. So I mean, but just seeing all this, people are this whole thing as far as this clout thing goes. Oh, people are using me for clout. I'm like, what clout do you have? That's the funny part. Um, you
Can we
got
say that
somebody.
word is overrated?
It's very overrated. You got somebody with mug shots, and you got somebody and you got a somebody who has an addiction problem, and I'm trying to get clout. I'm trying to get clout off the both of you two. Come on now, let's stop it. Stop it.
I mean, my personal thing, I've never had any. I've always thought you were a gentleman. I haven't ever seen you really come after people, unless they bothered you, of course.
Right.
So that's
And
why I just found it wild that you're engulfed into this controversy. And I've seen you have more controversy with men than I
right.
have with uh, some of the ladies. Well,
But
one is not a lady. One was born in a barn. Oink
right.
oink,
Right.
bitch. Uh, but I know that's not in your character, so that's why I was very curious. And I don't have. I enjoy Kimmy's platform. I don't have anything negative to say, but I am starting to notice patterns, and that's one thing I think I am good at, and
hmm
I observe is patterns with people. Because if it's she's falling out with a nice number of people, but again, I don't know what happens behind the scenes. So I can't really give commentary, but that's why I was just like, what's going on with this? I hadn't seen you in the chats, and then I've been hearing this rumbling about the mayor of Detroit, and then Miss Florida, we'll call her Miss Florida.
Right.
Um, and then I saw your live last week when you were going off, and then she came on the panel. I was like, oh, oh.
Right. But the biggest one, the biggest one was that Friday. That one, like I said, I got I got a trash channel. I'm boring. Um, I have nothing to talk about. I'm like, that's
I'm
right,
sorry. I'm
right,
laughing because I hear the same thing. Well, my life
right,
ain't trash. Sorry.
right, right. And that's the part that I found so funny was that you want to get up here and say that my channel's trash, this, that, and that. I'm like, okay, then I'll have a trash channel, but that one video, where seeing I got a trash channel got me almost 1.7K views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm it's cool, but like I said before, do I come up here for that? No, like I said before, you come at me, I'm gonna come back at you. But I try to respect.
Oh no, what happened? The mayor. Oh no, we're having some technical difficulties with audio. The mayor, your audio just clicked off. Oh no. Let's see what happens within the next 5 to 10 seconds. Uh, let's see about that. I don't know. That was weird. Y'all ain't having a snowstorm in Michigan yet, are y'all? I don't know. That was weird. Oh, well, I guess we're having some audio difficulties. Well, that was the mayor, and see what happens in the next 2 minutes. But the link is dropped if anyone would like to come up, just discussing some YouTube politics and controversial topics here. So that was the mayor of Detroit was giving his piece on the him and one of the content creators uh, beefs right now, and so unfortunately he was mid sentence and he was about to say something. But let's see. I'm sure there's a lot going on, and I'm missing right about now on these streets. Oh yeah, yeah. Go there. Go there. Why do you want to go there? Yeah, because you can't. Because we're trying to bring you off the motherfucking land. So it sounds like Pettyville is popping right now. Oh, let me say this thing before I get out of here. And thank you, Demare, and everyone that came up. Uh, or not everyone that came up, to Mayor for coming up, and thank you for those who came through, I should say. Um, Last week was a heavy topic about cisgender women and what have you. And so, oh, there he is. Um, and so I came in mid through Pettyville trying to explain what cisgender is. And I did a little bit of trolling and stuff. Well, I found out why people were pissed off. Come to find out, there was this person on one of the content creators platforms who was forcibly trying to force cis onto biologically born women. Let me say this. Hey, hold on one second. I'm gonna
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
what I want to say is for that platform, I am a hardcore ally of the LGBTQ. I'm an ally. But one thing I do not do is press my ideas, not my ideas, but my beliefs on people. And if people thought that in Brianna's chat, you obviously don't know me and you obviously had it wrong. Now, I do apologize if you guys thought that that was what my agenda was. That was far from it. My point was to tell people scientifically we are called cis and biological women. And I said I'm a cisgendered biological woman. And then Brianna said, well, let's give Toya a bunch of trophies, blah, blah, for humiliation. That's cool. That's cool. And, I welcome that. But I also welcome the fact that for the humiliation tactic, when you do stuff like that, take a look in the mirror. Because it's pretty sad when I see someone nonstop on this platform and it doesn't get out very much. And I I appreciate that humiliation. I did. At first I was looking cross-eyed and kind of salty, but then I'm like, wait a minute. Does this girl even leave her house? Come on now. Come on. Is she really that entertaining? I mean, I will be in her chat and I will listen, but seriously? So I apologize to those who thought I was trying to push some of my beliefs on them. That is not what I was trying to do, and that is not how I was raised. I think, Brianna, you could have did a little bit better instead of doing that humiliation. At least I got your attention. But anyway, go ahead, Demare. That was just a little bit my way.
Oh no. This your show. Like I said, my computer decided it wanted to do one of this good old I'm gonna reboot your system to see if everything's working again.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
technology has a mind of its own.
Right. What I'm starting to see, and I don't know if this is just me or I'm just starting to see that it's a lot. The beef sector and the black sector are of made up sectors are made up a lot of women, a lot of
Mhm.
women content creators. And one thing that I'm seeing, and this is just my own observation, in my own opinion, I'm seeing that a lot of women are the ones who's keeping up a lot of this shenanigans and nonsense.
Women can be we can be vicious, man.
Right.
Women are vicious.
And that's what I'm seeing. I'm like, man, I said I'm starting to see that a lot of women are keeping up a lot of bullshit. And I didn't want to get myself tied into that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But got somebody, when you have a lot of women who sit up here, and I'm not saying that all women, I'm just saying that some. So ladies, if you're listening, don't take this seriously. If it does,
Trust. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please.
what did they say? If it doesn't apply, let it fly.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know you're not saying all women because I don't like misogynists. So some, just like there's some men.
Right,
Yeah. So for those that are slow in the back, you didn't say all.
right. So I see that some of the women like to keep up a lot of this BS because it keeps them coming back for more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It keeps them coming back for more. And then after a while, you're like, you know what? Um, why am I waiting for this? Why am I waiting for this train wreck? I done seen the train wreck happen several times before. So, case for example, and I'll use her for an example. MU. Everybody, I told her before, everybody's waiting for that train wreck. Everybody's waiting for the train wreck. And then what happens? And I
She'll move
even
on to
told
another sector.
no, I even told her, she's like, well, what are they waiting for? I said, they're waiting for the train wreck. And once they get the train wreck, then I'm like, okay, then it's time to move. It's time to, when you were a little kid and you had those model trains, right? That ran on the tracks, um, that's old school. So, you put them
I
train
know what you're talking about.
you always wanted to make that train crash, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's just take it and see if it can run through this. And you take it and you try to make it jump. You try to make it jump or do this and do that. And then as soon as it crashed, what did you do? Okay, let me put it back on the track, run it some more, make it crash again. But after a while, when you keep running that same track over and over and over again, and then they're like, man, when this train gonna crash? And then once the train crashed, okay, then we got our little, 15 minutes of 15 minutes of fame of seeing that train crash. Okay, I want to see something else. And that's just the way it is. Like you said before. Um, that's not, like I
Repetitive.
said, you're going to have your 15 minutes of fame. Your 15 minutes of fame is dwindling big time. And you're going to have to come up with something else, because I find it quite strange um for somebody who has almost 12K subscribers. Why ain't your channel popping?
I
I'm
mean,
like,
and the thing is, like, it would be nice. So my thing is this, and because she has her own specialty,
mm,
it seems like sometimes her community wall is a little bit more fascinating than her lives.
right. Well, you know what?
And
Yeah.
yeah, and because I, first of all, she shares too much on here, but at least what she shares on her community wall, at least I know the lady is going outside and doing things. So that's good.
Right.
Um, but it will also be nice to see her try something different rather than playing the victim, trying to play like the sobriety counselor, uh, being messy constantly. I think to me it's more the victim stuff that I really hate the victim mentality. That shit pisses me off a lot. But what I try to do on my platform, even when I was in Portugal, I tried to show them something different rather than, the stereotype of what people think boobs and booze is in this channel, where you think I'm just sitting here getting drunk and smoking and talking shit. No, there's more to it than my channel. It's lifestyle and other things, and I'm gonna take you with me and travel with me. So come with me, y'all. Um, and I think that's really important for us content creators to sometimes you can get more people's attention as well, if that makes sense. Because then your beefs won't have to be so manufactured once you get new people into it, and
Mm,
and you get more people interested. You
right.
lure people, you know.
Right. Well, somebody said that the new thing now is the community board. It's not even the lives no more. You get more traction
Mhm.
off the community boards than off your lives, because people are tired. Like I said, when you do your show or I do my show, I'm giving you hour, maybe hour and a half tops. That's just me. And I'm done. I'm not trying to be up in here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. I don't like talking that much, and I don't like half you, and I don't like half you motherfuckers
No.
anyway.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right. So that's the way. I mean, I'm being honest. That's the only way. But then, um, what I want to do is that I want to start, like I said, once I start doing my trucking journey, I want to do that. But you think I'm gonna do my trucking journey off of this channel? Shit. You're not gonna even know. I'm not gonna even tell the people what trucking channel I'm going, what trucking channel that I'm gonna go with, or what company I'm gonna decide to work for, because I know
Don't
that,
do it.
right. I done seen four people start their trucking journeys, right? From going to school and everything. And all four of them people got fired.
What?
Yep.
Were
Because
they from these sectors as well?
no, they was from the truckers. They was they were doing their trucking thing and all that. But what it is this. They tell you a lot of these companies are very safety orientated. When you go, you cannot go live and drive a truck and react with the audience.
That makes sense. Safety.
Yeah, it's a safety issue. Now they said you can drive with your camera on and not say nothing, and you can do voiceovers. You know what I'm saying? That means you're gonna have to edit. That means you're going to edit. As far as driving and talking at the same time, no. I mean, I wanted to do a couple of lives when I was in trucking school. But you think that I'm going to tell you what school I'm going to? No. Even when I show my certificate, I put it in a nice glass frame and all that. You don't think I covered up them people's names and the name of the school? Only you seen it. It just said truck driving school. Everybody knows. Everybody knows my name. So I mean, I'm not gonna cover that up. Everybody knows my name. So, but you think I'm gonna put the people's names up? You think I'm gonna put the owner's name up, or the director's name up, or the name of the school? No, I'm not doing all that. Because I know how some of you are. I know how some of you are. Like I said, even with Ford, everybody knows I work for Ford. So, but the thing about it is that y'all think I work for the dealership.
Who thinks that?
Don't tell me you thought I worked for the.
Wow.
Don't tell me that you thought I worked for the dealership.
No.
Oh,
You have been there since 19. Mm-mm.
I've been there for 28
And
years. I've been there for
yeah, that's what I'm
28
saying.
years.
Mhm. You were about to,
Right.
and you've been there since after.
I've been
Mhm.
there. Yeah, I've
I
been there.
remember,
I've
I
been
don't
there
want
with.
to say anymore. You've said some stuff in previous,
Right.
panels before, but yeah, I know you don't work for the deal. Yeah, you have a pension. That's like when people would make fun of your job. I'm like, do y'all not know what a pension is? Y'all Negroes really need to.
Right.
Uh,
They tell you. If when the people who got hired, I think the last class, if I want to say it was either 2005 or 6, that's the last class that's getting a pension.
wow,
They're not
that's
giving
robbery.
they're not giving no more pensions. You have to basically, they're telling you right now, they put it in, hey, you got to support your own self. You got to put your money into your 401k. You better find some other lines of avenues as far as streams of income to go through, because we're not
That's terrible.
providing that. And that's
That's
the one thing,
terrible.
right? And that's the one thing I don't like. And that's the reason why I say it's time to go. The right,
That's
the right,
evil.
yeah,
That's
because
so fucking evil.
right. And then you figure the same person, I got the same person working on the line with me doing the same job, and they get paid almost $10 less per hour than I do. And I tell them, these people talking about, yeah, I'm gonna be full pay in I said, well, I'm gonna be full pay in 8 years. I'm like, well, let's
Oh
do the math.
no.
How can you get full pay in 8 years on a 4-year contract?
See, this kind of stuff, okay. These are the kind of topics I like
Right.
because this stuff right here, because like you're in it and you've been there since 1990 something. And
94.
so,
94.
yeah.
I stepped on there.
And the fact that they cut basically a whole generation of people who have kids now are not going to get that security.
Right.
In
Right. And
which that pension is what brought businesses and the economy striving, and we're able for people to like pay off their mortgage
yep.
and send their kids to college or open your own business.
Right. Now you gotta realize one thing. We got one dude, I'm not gonna say his name no more. We got one dude there. He had the most seniority in Ford Motor Company history. He had 67 years. He retired at the age of 85. Every time I saw him, I saluted him because I'm like, dude, when I got hired, you already had 41 years in. And you have had your kids have worked for Ford and retired from Ford. You have grandkids that's working at Ford. And like I said, that's cool. But I'm like, I decided I wanted to step out on this journey on my own because I said, if I didn't go out here and do what I wanted to do, then I'm always going to have that regret in the back of my mind. And
Yeah.
some people are just, I think sometimes some people are just scared to take that leap of faith. But you got to look at a lot of people. I tell anybody, Ford did not make the car. Ford made the assembly line.
There's a black man that
That,
made the car, and then
yep,
Henry Ford
took the design.
took that design. Yep. I bet some of you colored folks don't know that.
Right. And you gotta look at it like that. And like I said, you can't be. I tell anybody if you scared to go out here and start something on your own, then it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be afraid. But the thing about it is that you can't. When you get to that point to where you can't do it no more, and it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? I look at it like this: when I retire, if everything goes right, I'm walking up out of there. I'll be 55. That's still young.
Very young.
And I can go out here and I can start my trucking journey and hopefully get a couple of trucks and start my trucking company, and I'll put somebody in the trucks to drive it, and I can sit at home and do my dispatching, do my brokering, do things like that. And like I said, I wish I would have known what I know now. I wish I would have known 25 years ago, because you know what? I would have quit Ford. I would have took that step. I would have took that step out on faith. But you know what stopped me? I stopped me.
Being too comfortable and being too fearful.
Yep, comfortable and too fearful. And
I'm one of those people as well.
Yep. And a friend of mine's, he has 31 years, and me and him talk, and he tells me, he was like, man, I might work another contract. I'm like, what? I said, you said you was going to retire the last contract, but I said, I know what it is. I said, you don't have nothing to do. But I said, but you have one thing. I said, you in the 1%. He's in the 1 percentile of America. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, you in the 1 percentile of America of people who have over a 830 credit score. I said, do you know that's walking gold right there? Do you know that you can take that and get whatever you want to do something with? I said, even if you just go out here and just get you a house and rehab that house and flip it, that's something for you to do.
Exactly.
Instead of you being on that line all day, every day.
And making them richer instead of yourself.
Right. And I said, I said, I can't tell you, maybe you should go and talk to a financial planner. I think the financial planner could probably give you some heads up as far as doing what you need to do. Because I know your wife is not gonna want you to be sitting at home all day. Because he told me, he was like, man, if I sit at home, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm like, well, then that's why you need something to do then.
But he also might get in trouble too if he decided to sign that contract. And she would probably be like, "Well, we had plans," or "I wish you wouldn't have signed that contract because you could use your time for other things like so," you know.
Right, right,
So, I'm sure that's probably that a talk that's going on in their home as well. So, but I mean, see these kind of conversations and what's going on in the workforce, especially assembly lines. I think what I have to say is there is no place to be comfortable anymore. Like I live in the Bay Area and a lot of people are there's a lot of layoffs in the tech world right now.
right.
A lot. And so now people in the Bay Area are kind of worried about like, is this going to be the bust of 2001 all over again? Is this well, the problem is you have people Generation X and millennials and Generation Z that thought that got too comfortable because you think these companies are going to be you're going to be there till the end. There's no guaranteed anymore. I learned after 2008
Yes.
none of this shit isn't guaranteed. There is no such thing as stability. So all that stuff that I was raised in my mind, like go to college, get your degree, get the job so you can save money for all that shit went out the window in my
Mm-hmm.
20s.
Right, right. I
And
tell
that's
anybody. I tell anybody, don't sit up here and tell your kids that tell your kids, hey, go to high school, get you like, it's like right, get your high school diploma. But if you don't want to go to college, that's cool. But but have a plan. One
get a
thing that
trade or
Trey,
something.
one thing that high school does not teach. High school does not teach you to be prepared to take on this outside world.
Mm.
Um, they don't talk about financing. They don't talk about balancing a checkbook. They don't talk about how to start, how to have a credit score before you graduate high school. How to, what is credit?
How to
Um,
get a loan.
how to get a loan, how to start your own business, how to do something where to me, high school just produces robots.
Hmm.
And I don't care what school you go to, you can go to the raggediest school or you can go to the most prestigious school. Unless you got a connection or unless your family has money, high school produces nothing but robots. And a lot
I
of
do
people,
believe in finishing high school. That is
right,
just you can't, but you also have to pick up a trade. And
right.
that's the thing. Do you know that, and I'm sure you do, there's a shortage of mechanics. You know
Yep.
why? Because they don't teach shop and stuff in a lot of high
Nope,
schools anymore.
they don't.
And and so now we have a shortage of mechanics. We have a shortage of veterinarians because veterinary school is so expensive. And then when you graduate from veterinary school, you're stuck with all these loans, and the amount that you make doesn't balance out how much you'll in student debt.
Right.
So
I like it when people tell me, well, I got 2 or 3 degrees. I said, no, what you have is 2 or 3 big ass bills. That's what you have. I said, unless they're all paid for, you have 2 or 3 big ass bills. And you know what? I went and got my bachelor's degree, right? I have a bachelor's in business management. And I'm thinking, wow, I got a bachelor's in business management. I'm like, but the thing about it is that I make more money. I make more money on the line than I did with that business management degree. And out of that whole time I was in school, the only thing that I retained from going to college,
what?
my favorite class was Employment Law 101, where
That's a
people
good
get up
one to
there,
know.
right, where people get up here and say, "Oh, you're sexually harassing me." No, it's not sexual harassment. It's called creating a hostile work environment. That's what and to me, that's the only thing. That's the only thing to me in which I retain. Statistics, writing, all that other, nonsense. I wish somebody would have taught me how to do credit repair, how to do business credit without the without making yourself a personal guarantor, things like that. Um, there's a shortage of truck drivers.
Mm-hmm.
But you're trying to make a truck that drives by itself.
Oh, don't get me
Have,
started.
have y'all? I just want to ask them. Have y'all lost your minds? Do you actually? Do you hold on? That's even a truck unloaded, a 53-foot trailer is 40,000 pounds. Tractor and trailer empty. If your trailer is empty and your tractor, that's 40,000 pounds. A 40,000 pound missile.
And we're not even talking about what the weather conditions are yet.
Exactly. Now, just think if you put that with nobody driving it, and it has to make a quick maneuver. Say if it's a tanker, if it's a tanker truck, that side to side movement as far as the liquid that goes in there can make it roll over. You know, kids like to dart out in front of cars.
Thank you.
You think that truck's gonna be able to slam its brakes on in time?
No.
You know what? One thing that they taught me when I was in school is that when you driving that truck, you do not slam on those brakes. Whatever's in your way is oh well.
I heard about like 3-4 years ago they were talking about uh, these uh, these uh, robot truck drivers, and I was just like, great. So another industry to put people out on the
Right.
job, which is, by the way, unsafe. I mean, it's the same thing goes for like how they're trying to have um, uh, AI car services. Like
Mm-hmm.
machines malfunction.
Right.
People do too, but people have a little bit more of a firm grip rather than a machine.
Right.
And so, and my thing is like they're so wanting cheap labor so bad that they're willing to even go broke to have cheap labor. Because when you think about it, the lawsuits will pile up once these AI truck drivers or driving car services malfunction. Do you think you're not going to get sued the pants off?
Right. Right. And that's the way I look at it. Because like, you had that one truck, um, because they don't run by fuel, they run by batteries. And can you think a truck that's fully loaded, 60, 70,000 pounds, do you realize how much wear and tear that you're putting on that battery and how much drain and how much you're going to drain? And just think of how big that battery or batteries have to be. Even with a truck that runs by diesel fuel, um, depending on what model of truck it is, some of those trucks have 6, 7 batteries, maybe even more.
And we're still not even talking about weather terrain, which
Right,
is one of the biggest things. Like, I don't know, I'm from the Midwest. It gets cold. There's called things called black ice.
right,
How many times a year do we see in the winter truck accidents or a truck sliding off the road causing a collision of many cars just with a human? So I'm just trying to imagine an AI in charge, like drop. It doesn't. It's just another way of cheap labor and not wanting to pay humans. And they want cheap labor, and they think, well, instead of using people, we're going to use a robot.
right. Now, you live in California. California
Mhm.
has a lot of steep grade hills. and you see a lot of those trucks, a lot of those guys going down going down those hills, those downgrades awfully slow.
Yes.
Now, just think of an AI that can't put and say that AI is going downhill, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be an automatic truck.
Mhm.
And say that truck decides that hey, I'm going to try to take, because they switched just like a manual. You can actually hear them switch, and say that when that truck gets to the top of a hill, and when you get to the top of the hill, if I'm going up a hill in 5th gear, I'm going down the hill in 4th gear. You take it down a notch. Just think if that truck doesn't think about that and decides, well, I'm going downhill,
Oof.
and next thing you know, I'm a missile. And then we're not even talking about
Acceleration, man.
right. We're not even talking about curves. We're talking about the curves, and then you hitting those brakes, But to me, you can't put those type of trucks over the road. Those trucks gonna have to be local.
Dude, I've been in a snowstorm in the Sierra Mountains at night, and you're going around all the mountains, and then you see, you look on your passenger or driver's side, and there's just nothing but down.
Right.
Again, when it's sleet and snow, and that truck and trucks already, people already, some truck drivers already drive like maniacs. So
Mm.
I'm already trying to imagine how much of a maniac an AI is going to drive. Like, it just, I'm going to say something that's controversial, but I really think capitalism is going to be the death of human beings. Because when you have too much capitalism, and if everything is for the almighty dollar, and none of the humans are getting a piece of that mighty dollar, it ain't going to go out too well.
Right.
It's not
Right.
going to.
Now.
And so, and that also is with the haves and the have-nots as well, and it also ties in with Ford and a lot of these assembly line jobs. Y'all want everything to be so AI. Well, you're going to put more people out of work. You're going to have more shoddy products. Congratulations, America, you're already doing it. And you're going to have more deaths.
Yep. Because you're trying to get because you want to try to get a product out faster
And cheap labor.
with cheap labor. And okay, let's give a case for example. My company has a recall on over 500,000 vehicles
I read about that.
because of we try to, we wanted to get the product out fast, cheap labor, faulty equipment, and oh, we can let this slide. Well, it was a problem. You knew you had a problem when somebody was saying something when you was at like your first 100 or 200 or 300, and you keep on it's good, it's good, and then next thing you know, you have a problem with down the road. So that means that you got to bring everything back.
Mhm.
Everything has to come back. Everything has to be redone. So that means that the company has to pick that up.
You lose money rather than making it.
Right.
Ass backwards.
Right. Ass backwards.
Ass backwards. Well, I have to start dinner.
Right. And I have to go, but I appreciate you having me up. I always enjoy our talks, like I said before.
Thank you, Demaya. Thank you for coming up. And
All
I
right.
appreciate you coming up and explaining yourself and what have you. So now we all have a full knowledge of what is going on. But also, we talked about other things, AI, the trucking business, capitalism, all that fun stuff.
Right. All right. And
But
thanks a lot. Come
thank
by,
you, Demaya.
come by my show sometimes. I'll have you come by.
I will. I will. I
All right.
will. Bye.
Bye.
Yay. That was a great conversation. Well, listen, like I said, I have to go prepare dinner. And so thank you guys, the people that came through. Thank you, Demand, for sitting up here and having a conversation. So with all that said, Haven't sung this in a while. So long, farewell, I'll get you in the end. So long, farewell, I'll get you in the end. So long, farewell, I'll meet you in the end. So long, I'll get you in the end. Good night. Bye bye.